Hello and welcome to the Crochet Cakes YouTube channel. What I've learned during 2022, my makes, and what 2023 might bring. So this is the final podcast episode of 2022. And I was gonna say final podcast episode in ever. I did think a lot long and hard about the time and effort that it takes to put out content and where I wanted to concentrate my efforts in the coming year. But as 2022 has taught me that I should be more open to new ideas, to releasing old things that no longer serve, I should not just grasp and hold on to the Clarissa of the past, because I think she has come a long way. We've lost part of ourselves, and it's okay to mourn those parts that we miss and that we wish we'd kept, but I think it's also very important that we keep looking forward and that we try as much as we can to cultivate a version of ourselves that we want to be, that's true to ourselves, true to our beliefs, and as authentic as possible while still keeping in touch with our boundaries. And if it sounds hard, that's because it is. I've also learned during 2022 that anything that you want to do will probably take more time than you think. I mentioned this on Instagram yesterday, actually, that when the time comes to lay me to rest, I think my tombstone should say, that took longer than expected, because I feel that any project I undertake ends up taking me more than the allotted amount of time I had set for it. Which is why I'm trying to keep this last video of the year as concise as possible, so that Editing Clarissa can actually get this video out to you right in time to say goodbye to 2022 together. And because of that, I have a very nice, delicious barcha mojito, which my husband made for us. Yeah, we've both had it, because I wanted to have a drink to share with you, so that as we say goodbye to 2022, we remember the good, but we also look forward to what may come, because I really wish all good things for you guys. 2022 has also taught me that it is okay to experiment. It has definitely taught me that the way people interact with your content is not necessarily a reflection of you. So if somebody doesn't like a video you put out, that doesn't mean they don't necessarily like you as a person. Constructive criticism is always welcome. It is hard to take because we hold ourselves to a standard that might be unattainable. So hearing criticism, sometimes we're just not ready for it, and those are things that we also need to be open to. 2022 has also taught me that I am a highly sensitive person. I feel things very deeply, and it's also why in the podcast you rarely see me excuse me, talking about current problems, because a big part of me finds it very hard to believe that humans can do such things to each other. I strive to keep this channel as a safe place, gender safe, race safe, just equality safe, and for you to not feel attacked in any way, for you to feel like you can come to this YouTube space and decompress as we chat about crochet and perhaps even crochet together. I almost never crochet while I'm recording a podcast, because then I'll just crochet and not talk to you, but hey, if you guys want me to do a live stream just to literally watch me crochet, you can also comment down below, and I will do that, because one of the things I've learned in 2022 and one of my goals for 2023 in terms of this channel and the creative content that I produce is to always make sure that I am producing content that will not just be appreciated by our community, but also content that you want to engage with, content that inspires you or just helps you feel relaxed. That is my goal with this channel, other than making a crochet a part of your everyday life. And due to all these things, 2022 really made me doubt myself. I doubted if I was going to continue content creation because it is getting harder, and I think that the people that I reach and the people I interact with, some of them have been the same from the very, very beginning. Hello to you wonderful ladies. I think you know who you are. I don't want to say your name just in case, because I didn't consult you beforehand, but I think you know who you are. You've been with me from the beginning, and I greatly appreciate that. And it speaks to me that we can be close, have conversations, very meaningful conversations, through DMs, through emails, Ravelry, all of that. And that really reminded me that the reason I had started the Crochet Cakes YouTube channel was because I wanted to build a community where we all felt safe, loved, appreciated, encouraged, and I want to do that again. I want to get back to that. And of course, all with the goal of making crochet a part of your everyday, because I think that through crochet we can reach parts of ourselves and parts of others that we may not have even thought of. So there is that. So yes, while 2022 I really doubted myself, it also taught me my strengths. I also learned what my weaknesses are. I fully acknowledge them, and I need to process them and learn how to move past them so that I may better serve myself and serve you. Because if we love ourselves and we dedicate time to ourselves, I think we learn how to love people better. So those are some of like my my super philosophical things, but 2022 also taught me that I definitely take on more than I make time for, more than my body can accomplish at times, and more than any one person can do if they want to sleep. And yes, I'm definitely talking about all the projects that I said we would tackle together. Moving on from what 2022 taught me, we're gonna move on onto the Make 9 I had talked to you about in the beginning of the year. So I had said I wanted to crochet the Lawrenson sweater, the Ladyfingers sweater, and I wanted to crochet two tops. One was a Victorian love top, and the other one was the Poppins sweater by Laura Algarra. Of that list, selfish list, by the way, I finished the Ladyfingers sweater. It was the only one that I actually tackled. I still want to make the other projects. In fact, I kind of want to sneak off to the yarn store right now and get yarn for the Poppins sweater, because I think that done in a very lovely cream color, it will be perfect to take on our honeymoon. So my husband and I never had a honeymoon, and we've been saving our money because we got married in 2019. So COVID hit, COVID was still here. War, COVID. So we were putting it off, but we bought tickets. We're going to Japan. Yeah, we'll be flying, and I kind of want to take definitely a crochet project to work on while I'm on the 20-hour plane ride. I've already picked it out. Hopefully it will also be a vlog, because next year I do want to continue with more content creation vlogs in terms of this is a project, how I altered it, what the end product was. I really, really like those types of videos, and the feedback I've gotten from you has also been great. So I don't just want to do chatty videos. I want to do videos where you learn something and we learn something, actually, because as I've told you before, most of my videos are let's just fool around and find out. Cheers. Right, so I really want to go buy the yarn for that Poppins sweater, but I'm holding off because I am looking at a steaming pile of whips. So many whips. So I very ambitiously started 3 garment projects to give as gifts for Christmas. I finished 0. I finished 0 of those garments. And am I saying it with pride? No, but I also didn't want to pressure myself. I did finish my raglan sweater though. And if you follow me here on YouTube or on Instagram, you know the sweater I'm talking about. It's a granny stitch sweater. There's a tutorial for it. I absolutely loved it, and I want to make another one. And I'm kind of thinking that instead of buying new yarn, I should just make another granny raglan sweater with my stash. Anyway. Yes, Ichiro? As we were, it is time to talk about my steaming pile of whips. So first up, a project that I think only if you were in my newsletter you got to see. I don't remember sharing it in the podcast, but it is a, oh my god, the Vintage Waves sweater that I completely disregarded my pattern for. I used DK weight yarn, a 4.5mm hook, and I made a size 4-ish, and it was for my sister. Now, my sister is much more well endowed in the bust area than I am, so I was very unsure when I was crocheting the sweater. I kept looking at it and I'm like, I don't think this is the right size. So I just shoved it to a side, and it's still living in one of my favorite bags of all time. And this is actually combining a lace weight yarn and a slight DK worsted weight yarn. So as you can see, it's black and it's kind of lavendery, but more on the gray lavender, violet, lilac. A gray lilac. Yeah, let's go with that. It's like a gray toned lilac. And while my sister was here, I had her try it on, and lo and behold, I was right. The armholes, I made them too big, and she needs more space in the bust area. So I really only think that I need to rip it back to when I divided for the sleeves and leave less space for the sleeves and more space for the bust area, and that will be fine. I can keep working on that. The problem is that I thought I had 3 skeins of this black yarn. It's a really old discontinued yarn, Cascade Cascade Yarns Bentley, and I do not have. I only found 2 bowls, so I might not have enough yarn to finish it, as per usual. And speaking of not having enough yarn to finish it, let's change things up and show my second knit project of the year, because I actually rarely knit this year. And that is, I actually do not know what this pattern is called, but you will find the links to anything I talk about in the description box below, along with the chapter sections for this video. But this is a vest. It's a knit vest. God, I really don't remember the name of the pattern, don't remember the designer, don't remember anything. I do know the yarn is what was left over from my Conway and Bliss yarn lolly in the color Taffy, which is a lovely blue. It's showing up pretty true to color with specks of neon. My mom has always loved this yarn. It is a blown yarn. There is no stuffing in the middle, so it's just kind of like a knit cord. And I got through almost all of the vest. And you may ask, but Clarissa, if you were so close, 20 centimeters away from finishing it, why didn't you finish it? Ladies and gentlemen, the story is that there is no more yarn to knit with. absolutely no more yarn to knit with. And not only is there not any more yarn to knit with, since this yarn has been discontinued for ages, there is no possible way I can find this color. So if you happen to have any of this yarn in your stash, please comment below or message me on Ravelry or over on Instagram, or send me an email, and I will send you money for this yarn because I would love to finish this vest. Mom really likes this color, and I actually really enjoyed knitting this vest. I learned things, as you do. So this vest has a very interesting construction, and honestly it's very easy to knit. I knew all the skills. I was very impressed with myself. But yeah, I'd offered to start it again in another yarn, but Mom really likes this yarn. And if you don't remember what I used this for, which, why would you? God. But I used it to make this secret garden dress. So I had considered ripping the dress back, but I think I would only gain about 1 ball. And I'm not sure that's enough to complete the sweater, the vest. I was okay actually if I had completed the body of the vest with just doing some very small inches of ribbing for the neckline, the sleeves, and then the bottom edge in a contrasting color. I think Mom would have liked that, but she doesn't like color blocking. So I don't know what to do. I kind of want to cry. I did want to cry, but you know, crying is not going to solve anything. So if you guys happen to have any of this yarn yourself or know anybody that does, please have them message me. The colorway, as I said, is taffy, and it is this lovely blue, and the brand is Conway and Lolly, L-O-L-L-I, by Conway and Bliss. I've checked Ravelry, but nobody seems to have this color in their stash. So, what other unfinished projects do I have to share with you? Well, I'm glad you asked. I also have my husband's unfinished sweater, which I never shared in the podcast because I was going to vlog all about how I crocheted my husband's sweater in a month. Yeah. But I blame myself entirely for this one because I love to complicate my life. I'm working a raglan, a top-down raglan sweater for my husband in a beautiful green yarn. I absolutely love this yarn. It is Barocco Vintage, a machine washable blend. This color is Douglas Fir, or Vintage Douglas Fir, 5177, 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. Medium weight. I'm using a 5mm hook, and I'm using extended single crochet, central or split extended single crochet. And that is when you work the extended single crochet, but in the second round, instead of working in the loop of the stitch, you actually go into the top single crochet of the stitch, just like you would for the waistcoat stitch. So it is a very slow stitch for me. I'm only using a 5mm hook instead of a 6, which would have probably given me a garment with more drape and a lot more ease of crochet, because my husband really liked how dense the fabric was, and also because the largest furls crochet hook that I have is a 5mm crochet hook. And I absolutely, if you can afford it, if you can ask for it for Christmas, if you have a birthday coming up, if you spot a sale, because Furls often does sales, purchase the Furls Odyssey. I know some people don't like them because of the weight, but that's what I love about them. It really helps with my tendonitis when I use this hook to crochet, and the way the hook is made is excellent for just splitting the stitch and working right into the stitch. So that is just a raglan sweater for my husband. I did not write a pattern. I'm basing it entirely off of his measurements and the previous sweater that I crocheted for him. And it's living in my nutcracker bag, which I absolutely love. This was made by my mom for me Christmases ago, and I love it. So that is 3 of the unfinished projects that I had. Technically I have more. I started an amigurumi gift for my sister. My hands were hurting too much to finish that one, so I had to pause. And also I went to Joann's and they had Woolies Thick and Quick Jumbo, like wow, that's literally what it's called, and it was on sale for $6. So I bought to make a blanket, and I started that because, let me show you quickly. How beautiful is this? Okay, I'm gonna stop being silly. Also, I have to pause the camera because it's gonna shut off. Okay, so this, as I said, is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick Wow. And I bought it in the color Mushroom and the color Flax, which is a kind of a goldy deep mustard, and it's so squishy. I love it. I absolutely love it, and my husband does too, which is great because I'm making this blanket for him. He really loves the weight of this really thick wool. It recommends a 19mm hook, but I am using a 15.75, and it's working out fine. And it's working out nice and thick as well. And for pattern, I am using my super chunky Christmas blanket pattern, which I will also link down in the description box below. So crochet wise, that is everything I'm working on at the moment. I am supposed to have started projects for next year because we had discussed doing a kind of home cafe crochet edition where I would write up patterns and release a collection all designed for the kitchen. So pot holders, oven mitts, which I already have that one, crochet cozies like these, and teapot cozies. I want a farmhouse style apron, and I forgot, oh, coasters, just things like that that we use around the kitchen. So yeah, also I have a new pattern coming out in January, and that one is, I call it a low profile pattern because it's really meant to kind of ease you into crochet garments, to use up your stash, show you how you can alter crochet garments and what things to look out when you do alter a crochet garment. So it's that type of pattern. It's meant to be more of a guided pattern than just written pattern and here you go kind of in a way. But what else I want to talk to you about is that my friend Anna of Stitchcraft and Wizardry sent me a box, and it arrived just before Christmas, and it had so many beautiful things inside. Also, I was overthinking what to send her on her box, so I haven't, and I thought, you know, it's not gonna get there in time for Christmas, you know, all the way over to Australia. So I think that what I will do is that prepare the box and send it after the holidays in January. So that is what I'm doing. I'm still overthinking it. So if you guys have any suggestions on what to include on just a holiday box, here is for a great 2023 box, then please let me know. I've handmade some coasters. I've included some stickers of Star Wars that I know she'll love, some Star Wars pins, and I also want to include little something for her daughters, and just knickknacks that she can open whenever, well, not knickknacks, useful, thoughtful things that she can open whenever she feels a little down, or open them all at once to get just an explosion of joy. So let's share. She sent me 24 5-gram minis. And then for Christmas Day, she sent me 2 100-gram hanks of yarn. I'm going to start with the one of the 100-gram hanks of yarn because the other one, can you see it? It's bright green and it's back there. I'm not getting up again. But this one is called Turmeric Latte. And hello. Anna, if you're watching this, please prepare for a sweater's quantity of yarn in this color. It is, yes, that is the choir singing to this beautiful, beautiful yarn. So this is Turmeric Latte, and it is a beautiful golden yellow with kind of just deeper parts of orange in it. And it is on House Elf Liberty base, which is 85% superwash EF merino, 15% nylon, 400 meters, 100 grams, and it is squish. It is luscious, and I've worked with this space before because I bought some of her yarn before, and it's just so sheepy and lovely. And this color, I'm trying to transition to a more neutral wardrobe because as much as I love green, sometimes I'm not in a green mood, but mustard's a neutral, right? Let me know. Let me know what neutral is to you. So that is what I opened on the 24th? Yeah, on the 24th of December. And let me pull up the key. I had kind of collected the minis by colors. I do have the pins of the dates, but I was more doing what colors go together kind of thing. So that is what I based it on. So I've got these colors here. These are all kind of pastel-y, and they have tones of blue, pink, purple, and what's this color that I'm thinking about? Mauve. That's the color I was thinking about. So they're also lovely and squish and woolly. And let's go for the oranges. I had these. How beautiful are they? I don't want to mess with the zoom on the camera. It was giving me trouble. So, oh, and look at these blues. And not only did she include gorgeous yarn, but she also included gorgeous, gorgeous stitch markers, knit stitch markers. Okay, she included knit stitch markers as well as crochet stitch markers. And, oh, sorry, I forgot these pinks and purples. And then the blues and purplies as well. And this one has Stellina in it. So, of course, me being me, what I am thinking is of actually, hold your horses, crocheting a blanket. So just crocheting tiny squares that use up every last bit of this yarn, and then finding a neutral blanket that can just sew it all together so that there's something in common, because I absolutely just love this bundle of beauties. So thank you very, very much for that. Other crochet related gifts that I got this Christmas is a book that I've had in my Amazon wish list for a while. And I am super thrilled to have received it. And it is this Mosaic Crochet Workshop by Esme Crick, Modern Geometric Designs. And the reason I've been wanting this book is because I want to crochet this. but I don't want to crochet a blanket. I want to use this stitch pattern on a sweater. But all these, I wish I could show you like all the blankets without, I think this is it. I think this is all the designs she includes, which are absolutely beautiful. And actually, I think I had already bought this design on Etsy previously, like years ago. But they're all just so beautiful, and a project I'm very excited to make actually is this one. It is so cute, just the geometry of it, and then the 3 colors. I think they go so well together, like black, white, and mustard. I think are beautiful colors to put together. So that's the tea cozy and the Dutch houses. Honestly, that's what I am most excited for, but I just love that she includes smaller projects that you can make. You don't just have to make the blankets, you can adapt the stitch patterns to rugs, to just mug cozies, pillows, and I think, no, I had bought a different yarn, a different crochet pattern, but this is the one on the cover, and I think it's beautiful as well. Honestly, all of the projects are beautiful. I cannot speak to the instructions because I haven't made it, but it is written in UK terms. So if that is something that bothers you, then maybe you may not like this book. But here's another. It's like a Christmas tree in mosaic crochet, and that might be a sweater for Christmas next year. But as my husband often says, how many crochet projects are you going to talk about before you actually make some? Which, ouch, but also very true. Very true. So that is all the crochet content I'm going to allow myself to share with you today. I just really wanted to keep you company for New Year's Eve in case you, like us, are just all alone today. I'm gonna start cooking the dinner soon. I think it's 1 o'clock. So might have to do lunch first, but I'm gonna start dinner. I'm making some ribs for my husband, and then just some potato salad and some fried food just to pick at until it is midnight. I actually do not know if I'm gonna make it to midnight because last night I could not fall asleep. I actually fell asleep, like deep sleep, at about 3 in the morning, and I woke up at 6. So that's 3 hours of sleep. I am not very functional. You may be able to tell that I am very distracted. That's what happens when Clarissa doesn't get enough sleep, and also when her desk is a mess. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for all your support this year, for watching my content, for just helping me try and make money out of content creation. And in case you think that I'm swimming in that influencer money, I'm not. I was gonna make a video actually on putting this kind of work into perspective. But I know it's not the same for everyone. I know some people are very successful content creators, and you know, it all depends how you define success. For example, just a little ballpark out there. My husband watches the Trash Taste podcast, and they put out a YouTube highlight or whatever it's called, and it got millions. I think it was 63 million views, and they got paid $600 for all those views. And when you put it into perspective, they are 3 people that run the podcast, so that would have been $600 split 3 ways in 1 month, which, hey, I feel like the price of eggs alone is like $100 a month right now, so yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you for helping me achieve my content creation goals. I know I didn't achieve them all. Definitely not where I wanted to be, but I'm not going to discount where we've come. Okay? I think we've had a pretty good year. We've learned a lot of new things. And I hope that you've also learned a lot of good things and that I've kept you company until midnight if you're watching this late enough during the night. And if not, I still want to wish you the very, very, very best for this new year ahead. I will see you in another video next year because, as I said, this is the final video of 2022. Thank you guys for joining me on this crafty year. It really has meant a lot. I know that it might seem meaningless how some people are always thank you, but you know, if you really think about it, putting a video out there is a lot of work, and to have people actually interact with the video and the content you produce, the patterns you create, it's very humbling, but at the same time it's so fulfilling. All I can say is that I never felt as fulfilled with the work I do in any office job, except perhaps my librarian job. I quite enjoyed that one. But anyway, thank you for being a part of my crafty life. Thank you for being a part of my everyday crochet life, and I wish you all the very best for 2023. Goodbye for now.